and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. As you come on in, please know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space where we encourage intellectual conversation. We encourage intelligence, where we encourage respect, love, and we seeking truth on our path to liberation. Please know that this is a space for learning, for educating, for being educated, and getting learned up. Yes, indeed. Please know that this is a space for love. Okay? As my classroom assistants come on in, please put the green screen link in the chat through the duration of the chat and encourage people to utilize that green screen popping. Okay? If anybody's in need of anger management, as many of us do, please reach out, book your assessment. Man, we only a couple of weeks away. After Labor Day, the rates go right back to where they were. Catch it now. Catch it now. My classroom assistants have been encouraging you to book your session. It's 1/3 off. After that, you know what it is. Okay? If anybody that you know, you, yourself, a family member, a niece, an uncle, an employer, an employee, a neighbor, is in need of domestic violence counseling or intervention, reach out and book an assessment. Okay? Yes, encourage that. That is definitely a need, for we do not know all that encompasses this very, very traumatic and toxic human condition. Okay? Let us get to it. There's a lot that we will be discussing in class today. I'm glad so many are on time. That means there's so many green screens going off. That means there's so much engagement in this chat that people are going to be learned up. Andrea, we see you. Wood, we see you, A. Wood. Angel, salute, salute. Dr. Sebastian, salute. April Brittown, what's going on? DC in the spot. Guns, salute, salute. Yvette, always first in class, in her seat, with her apple for the green screen. I see ya. Mr. Mac, Sky, what up? Kim Will, what up? What up? Versace Broccoli, done missed about 8 classes. About to go down. Getting an F. Jay, what up? Stizzle. Stiz9. Stiz9, Stizzle, my shizzle. What is it? Salute, salute. D, what up, D? What up? Darren, Javon, what up? Philip Boone. Horace. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Phoenix Black. Glenn Foster, salute. The green screen. Uh-oh, Washington is in the spot. Philly in the building. And we're going to start with Philly because I want Philly to be on point. Lil Boozy. What up, Booze? Phoenix Black, much respect. Thank you for the overseas across the ocean. Krieger Bailey, the yard is in the building. Okay? Street cred, what up? Glenn Foster. I see you. Listen, Philly. And this has only been maybe an hour, maybe a couple of hours ago. There was a police involved shooting where it appears to be, and it's being reported to me from my peoples in Philly, that the vehicle operator lost his life. Police shot him down, killed him. We will get into it as more details come through, okay? But Philly, be on point. As always, y'all should always be out there on point. But we've had another police involved shooting. And from the video, from the TikTok vid, they didn't just shoot him, leave him in the vehicle. Shot him, pulled him out of the vehicle. Broad daylight in the community. Further escalating, this traumatic event. Okay? This is what's going on as people are still having fun playing games and making a mockery of this white folding chair incident that took place in Montgomery. See, you want to play games. You want to get caught up in symbolism. You want to joke around and clown. But the reality is, as we said in class a couple of days ago, that people are not playing. They're going to look at that with a different lens. And so far, the flip side to it has been very traumatic. Okay? So look, what's good? What's good? I'm good. Yes, visionary, much appreciated for the super chat. So do we understand what's going on? There's been another Philly involved police shooting just an hour, maybe 2 hours ago. Be on point, Philly. Be on point. Okay? North, south, east, west, Philly, be on point. You have been going through it, man, for a number of years now. They have attacked Philly because, again, Philadelphia, the symbol, what Philadelphia symbolizes in this corporation is freedom. Now, let's not forget that Philadelphia Quakers was established as the first free space. Free. No slaves. They didn't want it. They came from it and made an attempt to establish that as a practice in this new space that they invaded and took over. When you in Philly, go to South Philly and do the history walks. Go through and see Ben Franklin's home and museum and printing press. Go through and see the South Korean War Memorial. Go through the town and read it, and you can see these buildings that are still there. Go through there and see that and read the timeline of what these Quakers made an attempt to establish here. So Philly has a lot of history, and if people did the knowledge to what Philadelphia was actually about, then you wouldn't be sleepwalking. You wouldn't allow yourself to be caught up into addiction. You wouldn't allow yourself to be caught up into killing each other without reason, unnecessarily. You wouldn't be caught up into all of these different conditions that have been created and forced on that population by our enemies, by our oppressors. So go through South Philly and do the knowledge. And it's not that far. It's not that far. Philly is not, there's less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours away. So while you all going to Tulum and all this other weird shit, Do the knowledge to what's going on here. Do the knowledge to your enemy. Philly is also one of the first courthouses. So if you're really into these institutions, if you're into discovering and doing the knowledge and the background on Freemasonry and all that is right there in Philly to figure out, to try to get a idea of how these things operate and how it's used against us. It's right there. It's right there. So if y'all in Philly, be safe. We already know, I told y'all that after that riverfront incident, it was going to escalate the attacks. That's just how this whole system works. Repression has to always come after a revolutionary act, after a rebellious act, whether you're conscious on the intent of it or not. Whether you were conscious of the intent of your actions or not, it was viewed as a rebellious act against white folk. So now the attacks are going to continuously come. The repression comes because we cannot allow these niggers to believe that they can do something. So it just boggles the mind why people are having fun with this shit. I've seen people making earrings, white folding chair earrings. I've seen people making t-shirts, of course, the TikToks, the memes. Now they having parties, white folding chair parties. You don't know when an incident is being used against you. You don't know when an image, when an emotional attachment to some type of vibration is going to be utilized against you. This is simple now. It's simple. And right after, we said the attacks, okay? The attacks. It was already upset about this child that lied about that abduction and used all these police forces. Hey, Naeem Washington, much appreciated for the green screen, right? So now you have people who might have viewed that and said, you know what? We can do that. You know what? Maybe I need to be more attentive to dudes who are woke, to people who are conscious. Maybe I need to, we need to get this unity piece together. Where do we start? And that causes the wheels to churn, and then your enemy picks up on it. But when you make a mockery of it, this is the result. Now you off point. So now what happens? Like I said, we just had a shooting in Philly. There was a mass shooting overnight in Memphis. 8 people injured. So far, none of them critically has been reported. So they're all are in a space where they will survive. But in the event, there's videos running around of the citizens attacking an officer, attacking a cop, and have him running up out of there. In the midst of that, don't know if he was coming to investigate, don't know if he was there on the scene, don't know if he was providing assistance, but those little videos, those get pushed through, and you making an attempt to make it viral where we sit in our spaces, but feds watch this shit. Their think tanks watch this shit. And they send their dogs out. They send these agencies out. They allow white supremacist groups to go, to run, to do things and catch out people that are not on point. So now, mass shooting in Memphis, which we know is another community that's been going through it. We got Philly, we got Memphis. These 2 communities have been going through it for a long time. A lot of unnecessary gun violence, our people against our people, a lot of drug addiction, a lot of negative narratives that they run with this street shit, right? So in the course of that, we go back. We go back to Kenosha, Washington. Right? Now, we was there. We seen what happened in Kenosha. We seen what happened with James Blake. And that caused rioting, right? If y'all don't recall James Blake was a brother who had warrants for various things, right? We're going to put those warrants, we're going to put that information to the side, but we do know he was having a moment. He's having a moment with his child's mother, right? And going through a domestic issue in public. Police was called. He was threatening. A whole lot of things were said. Police backs him down and hits him 4 times. Right there. Again, on video, broad daylight, in the community, shot a black man. No questions asked. This is how they giving it up. This is how they've been giving it up. There's been a consistent war against our people, specifically our black men. Banged them out. Public outcry, rioting. All this on the heels of everything else that we was going through. The George Floyd, right? The Minnesota killings, everything. The Ohio, the Cincinnati killings. Shooting a brother in the driveway. All this was going on. And in the mix of the Kenosha riots, a little youngin', 17-year-old cracker, 17-year-old old Faye, boom, with an assault rifle, guns down, fatally guns down 2 other rioters. Walks past police with the ratchet out. Gets knocked, goes to trial, and beats it. So we already know what type of time they on in Kenosha. Again, this is part of that Midwest region. We know what's going on. So now we have another incident that makes absolutely 0 sense from some eye when people are looking at it with a closed lens. When somebody's sleepwalking, they have a vehicle, right, that was in some type of chase, some type of police chase, whatever it was going on. They find their way up into an Applebee's. An employee of the Applebee's said, yeah, we got some suspicious people in here, and pointing them out to the direction of this black father who was in there eating or attempting to eat with an infant in his hand. And at that point, they began to run up on him, accost him, assault him, rip the baby out of his hand. An infant as he's pleading and begging, and others are pleading and begging, stop. What are y'all doing? But again, there's no pause with policing, because policing is not there to protect and serve. Policing is not there to protect and serve. It's to punish and silence. So as this baby screaming, crying, wailing, just as many of our sisters was pregnant during our enslavement, and these Ophies, these white people, men and women, who call themselves masters over us, would rip infants out of our women, pull them out, rip them out, pull them out of our women, wailing and crying as they played games with ripping families apart, and babies wailing, holding on to mothers and fathers on plantations as they're being sold and ripped away. Again, we reliving this same trauma. The father's holding on to his infant saying, what did I do? I did nothing. His intent was to go up in this establishment order something, eat. And now he's on the floor being assaulted, arrested by police, and the fear of him losing his child. Terrorized. Okay? This is where we at. While people are playing games. While people are making memes. While people are taking a whole lot of energy clowning white folks who really wasn't about that action getting beat up. What's the clowning for? For real. Now the attacks are on. Because now the institution is in high gear. High gear. Philly. Okay? That's East Coast. Philly. Mass shooting in Memphis. The South. The Midwest. Kenosha, Washington. Kenosha, Wisconsin. My bad. Regions. This is where we at now. While people are clowning. While people are wondering if Mel was better than Eminem and all this other weird shit. If we wondering if Jamie Foxx was cloned and all this other shit. And we wondering if robots is getting ready to take over the world. Our enemy is reestablishing, and keeping that foot on niggas' necks. Okay? This is what we're doing now. So as I come on, as I open class on a regular basis and make an attempt to get people up out of that sleepwalking shit. Because it takes nothing to be woke. It takes nothing to be conscious and aware of who you are and where you're at. But when you're woke and you're sleepwalking, you do more harm than good because you're supposed to know better. And when you know better, you teach. When you teach, you have to come from a space of integrity while you're leading by example. So the people sleepwalking, they're going to be fine. They can keep throwing these white chair parties. They can keep making earrings and keep clowning and doing everything under the sun to laugh and make a mockery out of that whole riverfront shit. But the mere symbol of black folks near the water fighting back white people is very, 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 very important. Because we've been there centuries fighting on riverfronts near water against white folk. And so while you clown about this shit, they understand the type of energy that is and where it comes from and what to do to exterminate that. So while all that shit is going on, we got podcasters, YouTubers, social media influencers, and all this other shit looking for old conversations to talk about. I'm like, yo, what hold on. You digging up old shit to talk about? This is where we at with it now. I want y'all to, because that's the only way that they can keep their machine moving, is to regurgitate bullshit and call it content. Because in that, they can define themselves. They don't have free thinking. They don't have a forethought. They're not able to take things down, make it simple, give it back to you so you can walk away with a different spectacle of intelligence that you witness from that. You can't do that. So now, when all this going on, in just an afternoon, in just a morning, in a previous night, in the last 12 hours, with all this that we done unpacked in 25 minutes, they still talking about bullshit. You got this chick, Tasha K, talking about some shit that Vlad the Euro said about Diddy, about Puffy 2 years ago, about him going broke. Why is this a conversation today? Why is this a conversation today? Cracker said that 2 years ago. Why are we talking about that today? Kenny Mack, salute. Why? Why? Where's your lens? Because again, the system itself, the institution of what they're calling content and social media is failing because there's nothing else that they can regurgitate. There's nothing else that they can spit back out that's going to grab people's attention because shit ain't been happening. The last 2 weeks, all they've been talking about is Hip Hop 50, which ain't about shit so far because when it's over, it's done. None of them hold any power. None of them is sitting in any position to do anything for anybody. They're barely holding on themselves. So for the last 2 weeks, that's all they've been hearing. I've been listening to this shit for the last year. Since last September, they've been talking about this and having these little celebrations, these little pop-ups, these little concerts and all this little shit. So now that we're at the tail end of it, what's next? And in that space, therefore, they can't talk about anything. So now we're going to regurgitate shit. We're going to talk about that. Okay? We're going to bring back up the fact that Burna Boy said some shit about African Americans. He said that shit months ago. But so much content has come and gone. So many talking points have come and gone that people might have missed that. So let's regurgitate. Let's put that shit back up. Let's spit it up. Let's talk about this again and not what's going on right now. Why? Because they don't know what's going on. They too busy in meetings with white folk. They too busy at the party with Euros. They're too busy trying to catch up or get in front of and think for Whitey or what's going to be hot. I got to talk about what's going to be hot. What can I talk about? What can I discuss to make white folk think that I'm in charge of black folk? So they can't be in it because they're not in the work. They're not in the work. So it's very difficult. It's difficult for them to do that. It's hard. So when they come before you, they got to come before you with bullshit. They do. They do. They do. So why would we care? Why would we care if Diddy broke or going broke? Why? He coming from that same tree. As a matter of fact, this is a tree. And before we go, let's give him condolences to the family of Magoo. Let's give condolences to the family of Clarence Avant, who, again, had their patriarch, had one of their elders transition, which again, y'all know that I've been very, agitated, a little testy about this whole celebration and how they've been moving with Hip Hop 50. I just didn't say it publicly, but I knew. I said, yo, somebody gonna transition. The same way Whitney Houston did at the Grammys. The same way Heavy D did after the BET Awards. I'm like, yo, it's too much fluff. It's too much bullshit that ain't about nothing. So I said, nah, let me not say that publicly because then you're gonna hear the backlash. You wishing this on people. Oh, you talking it into existence. Then I said, hold on. Hold on. I know what's going to happen. Sure enough, 50 years old, Magoo transitions. And of course, nobody knows the cause. And then Clarence Avon. My true belief, and I'm going to keep it a buck, I thought it would be Buster. I'm not going to hold you. There's too many places for him to be in for no reason, and he's not saying anything. When you make these people extra visible for nothing, I'm looking like, yo, it's not, something is not adding up. Same way they did with this Scarlett chick. Did everything, fattened her up, threw her at everybody. Now what? If she cannot bring back any resources based on the position that they put her in, she out of here. Guaranteeing you that. So now I'm thinking Buster's too emotional. This nigga's too emotional in public. Too emotional. So I'm like, man, something is not right. Something ain't right. Nigga, you wasn't this emotional when you lost your bodyguard. Unapologetic. No words. Nothing. And social media wasn't nowhere near where it is now. It wasn't established today. It was in the infant stages. But at that same point, we had written publications. You had interviews. He stood silent. So now, what's the over-emotional black men need someone to talk to? Black men, we don't have no one to understand us. Sit your big emotional ass down, Bubba. There's a lot of people, a lot of professional people black men can speak to. A lot. We're going to stop with the victimization of black men. That shit don't work over here. I've been in too many traumatic situations. My life been trauma. Nothing but abuse by police. Nothing but murders and shootings in the streets. Nothing but prison and institutions that try to break you. Their services, their colleges, every institution that they had. I went in that shit head first. What you mean black folk, black men don't have no one to speak to? Nigga, black men are at war. And that's what they fail to understand. You at war. Ain't nobody got no pity on your ass. None. That's what the problem with black men is. Everything is funny. Everything is a joke. Everything is not your responsibility. You're not accountable for shit. And now when it's all upon you, you want to cry. Watch that shit. The only group of men who don't realize they're at war consistently. We're at war all the time. Been at war. We've been in 1,000 years war. And now you want sympathy because you done run out. Every hustle done ran out. Every slick nigga con game ran out. And now you want help. You want sympathy. You want somebody to talk to. Nigga, I talked to myself when it was time to get straight. Said, yo, this 5x9 shit, this ain't me. This ain't my life. Bliz, what the f you gonna do to get right? You already been raised on the lessons. You know revolutionary strategy. You know how to soldier up. When you get out, you live by what you know how to live by. Simple as that. I watched that shit. I'm like, hold on. Something is weird. These soft-ass, emotionally sensitive-ass niggas in the middle of a war. Then I seen Kwame Brown talk the same shit. And y'all pushing it. Kwame telling it, oh, I had no daddy in the house. And the shit go viral. And that soft-ass energy moves through. That vibration of that soft shit goes through. I'm looking like, what the fuck? You 7 feet. You supposed to be leading the army. You ain't supposed to have none of that shit. Smart dumb. Sleepwalking. Okay? What are we doing? What are we doing? Serious, real talk. In 2023, if black males don't know that they are at war and nobody give a damn about you, no one. You already know that. You know that. You cry, you complain, and say black women not with you. You cry and complain and say that these books, these theologies, these theories is not with you. If y'all not with each other, then nigga, you know you at war. You know you at war. And either you gonna soldier up and get busy or you gonna fold. But get off of social media with that woe is me bullshit. So as they kept parading Bust around like this, why don't somebody give him some meds? Give him some meds. Dr. Jeff can't get to him. They not coming to me for anger management or no goddamn life coaching skills. Give him a pill and sit him down. Give him a pill and sit him down. Because you're looking like a sacrificial piece on the chessboard. That's what they looking like. Because if you're not clowning, if you're not getting your grippers gripped up, you're looking weak. So stop the fake ass narrative that black men need somebody to hold their ass up. Because there's a lot going on globally. And ain't none of them men is holding each other up. The fuck like you think you got it any rougher than them little Palestinian boys throwing rocks. Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone, these little dudes are 10, 12, they got them working in mines. And your big ass, goofy ass that sold drugs throughout the 80s and 90s and got into rap music talking about you need somebody to talk to? You emotionally need somebody? You emotional? I'm emotional. I'm emotional. Nobody wants to hear from the black man. You sound like a biatch. You got a 12-year-old. Let's not forget. Let's go again. Police attacks. Stepping up after white chair incident. 12-year-old in Michigan. Emptying the garbage in front of his father. Arrested. threatened putting handcuffs right where he lived, 20 feet from where he lay his head. And his father could do nothing. Do you know how traumatic that is? You understand the chess move that they just made? We gave you generational fear. And these motherfuckers online telling y'all that if you invest in white institutions, you could get generational wealth. When these niggas is working on generational fear, you locking up a 12-year-old, going to the garbage. And you got Boozy Bigums talking about a versus between Michael Jackson, who's dead, and R. Kelly, who's locked up. This is what they feeding y'all. This is what they feeding you. Help me figure it out. Help me figure it out. You want to talk about you emotional? And black men can't look around and find nobody to talk to? Now, I see black men talking to themselves every day, all day about nothing. On the corners, in the bodegas, in front of liquor stores, pumping fucking gas, asking for a nickel. You don't have nobody to talk to? Who you lying to? Y'all talk to each other about bullshit. That's the problem, black man. Your answers are there. You refuse to take them. You talk yourself out of it. You don't want to get rid of the white ideals in your head. You don't. Every time you have a thought or an idea to get rid of your enemy, you talk yourself out of it. That little Tinkerbell come crawling out from between your grippers and you sound like a biatch. You want to deal with them. You want to sit in a room and tell white folks your dreams, because your dream never consists of getting rid of their ass. And they'll reward your punk ass until they want your grippers. Yeah. And keep playing. Keep playing. I seen your other man. I seen him. Seen the other social media sensation crying, playing. Yeah, keep trying to get that bag. They're going to get your grippers. They ain't get it that time. They're going to weigh you down, though. They're going to get your grippers. Keep playing with white folk. Keep playing. Keep going viral. Keep trying to get to the bag for yourself and your family. They're going to pay you. They're going to pay your family. And then they're going to get their reward. Yeah. Yeah. Because this is what it's about. You don't want to replace Whitey. You don't want to get rid of Whitey. You just want a nice seat next to him. You want to sit next to him. You want him to caress your fucking scalp and hold you there. That's where it's at. I'm giving y'all the truth. That's where it's at. These niggas don't want to replace Whitey. Nah. They want to be held in Whitey's bosom and told it's going to be okay. Even in the face of Whitey's world falling apart as we speak. So when we come in, and that's an excellent segue, okay? Because while we watching their world crumble, while we watching these 4 countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Guinea, as we watching them kick the Euros up out of their space. And we saying, damn, some people are ignoring that. Some people are not woke enough. They don't peep that move that is because we lost the connection to that side. Again, a Euro construct. You don't worry about them because they're not worrying about you. You don't have connection to the continent. You here. You with us. They told you who you were. They telling you you're American. They told you that. And you wear it proud. And then when you get mad at them, you pick up and run with some funny style shit. Nah, we foundational Black Americans. That's what we are. I mean, you're foundational, you're Black, and you're an American. All Euro thoughts. That's Euro thinking. When you're truly a universal being of truth, you come from the universe. They can't even put in the English or Latin language what you are, where you come from. But you quick to run into their language and their terminology of who you are. So you miss the connection to these melanated folk. And they mix the connection to you because of the shit you spew. So if they getting busy and you over here clowning, the Euro's still winning. Because you separated yourself from them. They separated themselves from you. But they getting busy. And you over here playing with folding chairs. And listening to some nigga tell you that you different from them. You started this. You an American. Not even knowing where the name American originated from. Nigga, you gonna take that? You gonna put that on your back? And when you put that on your back, you don't own shit. That's why they, on the other side of the water, can laugh and say, yo, hold on. What does it mean to be that? Y'all don't have shit. And if you do have a little bit, it's because you're being allowed to. And as we look over the seas and say, well, y'all don't have shit. You didn't do anything. Okay? You over there working in the mines. You over there digging up the earth and giving them resources and all that. So see the connection, we both are in the same space. But at least they have the positioning to say, yeah, we could run them up out of here. What are y'all going to do? Because in that space that you calling yourself American and putting a foundational Black in front of it, you have nothing. 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 Not a cotton field, nothing. So how dare you separate yourself from anything? That's nigger talk. You're sleepwalking because you don't have shit here. That's why the original Euros left, because they understood that. If we paying taxes on something, it ain't ours. Oh, there's tea in the damn river. So what do you have, nigga? What do you have when you title yourself that? When you say you are because of they. Well, I am rich because I have a good credit score. Well, I am wealthy because I bank over here. Well, I have this land because I bought it from them under lease and pay taxes on it. You are nigga because of them. That nullifies who the hell the universe made you be. But y'all don't get that. So I'm gonna sit right here and sip my goddamn tea until they catch up. Okay? Until they catch up. That's where we at with it. That's where we at with it. Y'all with me? Are y'all with me? I'm not going too far. Because it's simple. It's very simple. 12-year-olds getting arrested. For taking out the garbage. And his father, his first enlightener, his first teacher is right there. His father is not absent. His father not a deadbeat. But he's right there. Powerless. Because animals with guns put his baby in cuffs. But you got a nigga on here that's going to tell you that he's foundational Black American and that means something. Go help that father. Nigga. We have a father not absent. Not a deadbeat. And Applebee's on the floor crying out as a baby's being ripped out of his arm. What the hell does it mean if he called himself anything? Right then and there, he's a nigga getting handled. Where we at with it? Where we at with it? When you fail to organize, when you fail to soldier up, when you fail to get up out of the behaviors that keep you a second and third class nigga. The pushback is real. Oh yeah, the truth is real. The pushback is real. The truth is real. You come to class, you getting the real. Let these social media people front on you. Guard your mind. Nobody tell you something that you can see right in front of your face. You see this shit. How do you manifest your being? Who are you? Who do you claim to be? If you are not a manifestation of it, that's the God's first lessons. What is your attribute? How do you manifest that attribute? Daily, every day, and in each and every way. How do you make your understanding understood? How? Let these niggas tell you they got titles. These are titles the Euros gave them. Positions Euros gave them. Mission statements Euros gave them. How do you manifest who you are as a universal being of truth? If there's an injustice done to you, how do you serve justice back? I'll wait. I'm waiting. They're not ready for me. Nah, they're not ready for us. They're not ready for this class. They're not ready for this class. I'm never the subject of discussion. Ever. I'm gonna always ask questions that have no answers to them. Okay? The divine mind knows, the divine mind shows. Can't lie to me. Okay? So, I always say, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Believe in my belief in you. You can keep playing games. You can keep sharing. You can keep paying attention to all this funny style shit. While the world is changing, I'm telling you, the consequences is you're going to have a sore ass. I'm telling you. Kim, salute for the green screen. It's getting very real. It's getting very real. And I'm telling you, sister comrades, you better make these men soldier up. All them conversations from the past, all them things talking about in the 80s, in this thing, I did this, I was doing that. Man, that shit don't get you nowhere. None. None. Shit. You ain't getting no resources from that shit. And these people are coming. These people are coming. And none of that shit gonna matter. None of it. Not a folding chair, not an eyelash, not a vacation, none of that shit. You see that shit going on in Maui? None of that shit. They showing you the Euro world is crumbling. What are you gonna do? Either you gonna crumble with it, or you gonna live how you are supposed to live. And that is as a universal being of truth. Stop defining yourself by beliefs that you inherited from somewhere else. You inherited a belief system. I don't care what it is. You inherited. Who are you? What is your purpose? How do you define right and wrong? If you consistently see these people over here doing you wrong and you do nothing about it, you're going to continuously be a victim. Okay? Stop listening to these niggas. Stop listening to these stupid ass, dumb ass, heathenous ass, skank bras. Everything is not a clown. Everything is not a head snapping a finger roll. All that shit does nothing. Nothing. Okay? Stop listening to these niggas who telling you they rich because they code switching. They doing a whole lot more than code switching. They grippers are switching. You watch how they walk and how they talk and how funky they get. I'm telling you, they doing a whole lot of switching in other spaces. Niggas ain't important. Okay? I believe in my people. Make sure you come back to class with 10 fingers and 10 toes. I'm telling you, be safe out here. Move with purpose. Move with intent. When you leave the dwelling of your living area, make sure that you get back safe. And anybody that attempts to prevent you from doing that shit, cut their ass down. simple as that. No one has power or authority over you. No one. Be intelligent with it, though. I'm telling you. You don't have to make a lot of noise. It ain't always about the bang bang. Kizzy spit in the cup. Remember that shit. You don't always have to be loud and niggerish. Kizzy spit in the cup. Salute.